Hello, my beautiful Pisces. Welcome back to Queen Cup Tarot. I am just smudging, putting some frankincense on the burn right now, getting ready to do your late, but even still, October 2019 tarot readings. For those that are new, welcome. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It's much appreciated. I do smoke pot. It's not the nature of this. This isn't pot burning. This is frankincense, but I do smoke pot. But feel free to smoke with me. If not to worry about it. We'll get into your reading shortly. But for those that are reoccurring and returning, you guys already know the deal. My apologies for being late, like super late for your readings. I didn't feel right waiting until November to get you guys out a reading. So your general reading out. So here it is. Thank you for your patience and all your likes, shares, subscribes, and of course, positively engaging the channel the way you do. You guys are, it really is such a blessing and a privilege to connect and read for you guys. So, but you guys know that. I tell you guys that all the time. For those that would like to book a personal reading with me, that's fine. Just see below. The details are below. Just keep in mind that all my readings are live. They're not pre-recorded, okay? And also just be patient with regards to me getting back to emails, just because sometimes it's a bit overwhelming. But once I do get back to you and send you the upcoming availability, it'll be for 1 or 2 weeks out. So once I do get back to you, you'll have a reading booked within the next 2 weeks, okay? Usually about a week or 10 days is the availability I'll give you. For those that timestamp the reading prior to the prayer, thank you. I appreciate you guys wholeheartedly. Wow. Looks like we're ready to get started. Just about. For those that are new, it's just a bit of a pet peeve that, I really just appreciate. I don't mind if you guys timestamp, but just can we acknowledge the prayer? Can we respect the prayer? That's all. Anyways, I'm not going to get all pissy about it. Okay. What else? I think that's it. Yeah, I think we can get into prayer and get into it right away. Oh, wow. This is good. Okay, let's get into prayer and get into it. Some of you guys don't even know that some of the moves and changes that the universe has made, some of the things that you've lost, there's things that have changed that are unrelated to your work. Maybe you were forced to move, or maybe you're being forced to something of this nature. And I don't think some of you Pisces don't realize that some of the changes that are occurring right now that are out of your control are actually divinely guided in order to position you to make more money. And I get the Emperor. Some of you are being pushed or divinely guided to create your own business. And you might not see that yet because the changes that are happening, like some of you broke up with a partner and are moving back home. Some of you broke up or became estranged with a close friend or family member and had to leave. There's something of that nature. That's the energy I picked up in these few cards that flipped over, that some of you guys don't realize that some of your blockages with regards to finances was because of people you had around you or geographically where you were located. Some of you are being challenged or forced to make a move that inevitably is going to position you to be in a more powerful position with regards to money and time. Let's carry on. And it's so hard to explain because I can see it, and a lot of you don't know that that's what's to come out of this. That there's a blockage with regards to your career and abundance that's going to be cleared because of clearing you're doing in an unrelated area of your life. So that's what I'm telling you. When you ascend one area, the other areas are affected naturally. And it looks like some acquiring of abundance. It's really good, like material cash. Anyway. Yeah. Some of you, the 5 of Pentacles. I'm using the Quantum Tarot 2.0. Yeah, a lot of you have been experiencing financial issues. Some of you have been looking for work for a long time and haven't gotten any traction. You're feeling left out in the cold. You're more conscious of what you don't have than what you do have. And maybe if you take a minute now, you might actually see how some changes, some tower moments may broaden the potential for you to gain more money or be more available for higher paid work, or it's hard to explain that one. But anyways, I'm going to get into prayer and get into it, okay? All right. Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, thank you for rising me up out of my bed this morning, and thank you for connecting me with the collective every day. Right now in particular, thank you for connecting me with the collective sign of Pisces. Please allow me to communicate clearly to them the messages that are in their greatest good, surrounding their material abundance, sustenance, the relationships closest to them, their personal ascension and development, and any other messages that you deem worthy at this time. Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, for everything you do for me and the collective. All the healing energy, the support, the love, the guidance, the protection. The list goes on. We are nothing without this, and we are nothing without you. So thank you, Father God, and amen. I've got a bunch of new oracle decks, too, that I'm going to use that are just going to really... And I'm going to read them out of the book because these books have a lot of amazing knowledge that surpasses tarot, right? And the meanings of tarot. They surpass that. So, or at least in the limited way we read them. So I think incorporating more oracle cards into these spreads are important. It's just I'm trying to keep the time down, that's all. The longer the readings are, the less of them I'll get out. And I like that 40-minute mark. So, but I do definitely want to include more oracles. So I have Razuli here, I have Eliqui, and I have Oracle of Visions by Cairo Medicetti. Okay. All right. Feeling good, Pisces. 7 minutes in. Holy shit. Yeah, definitely timestamp, guys. Feel free to timestamp, but let's do it prior to the prayer. All right. Your overall energy for October until the next time we meet, friends. The Tower. Yeah. I felt this energy when I was shuffling up and connecting. It was this energy of whatever this is, it's unrelated to finances. And if it is related to finances, you do not see the silver line yet. You do not see how this is going to positively impact you. For some of you, you're even triggered by me saying that. It's like, what is this bitch talking about positively impact? You know what I'm going through? I do. We all have tower moments. We understand that. But if you look at other tower moments that have happened in your past, there was almost it was almost a redirection, okay? A recalibration, of some kind, a change in trajectory. There was a divine purpose and reason. So for some of my Pisces, the divine's asking you to see through the dust, through the debris, the endless possibilities now that this is out of the way. Because this was karmic. For a lot of you, this was karmic. Like the power, this tower is very, lots of decks have very beautiful ways of illustrating the profound nature of the tower. But this, with the quantum tarot, there is this divineness to it with the yellow and white lights. There's this divine, and the electricity. It's almost like the divine just went boom. But why? We know the divine doesn't have a destructive nature. It's the opposite of devil energy, where devil energy is destructive. Divine energy is growing, developing, right? But they both understand each other. It's the yin and the yang, right? But there's something beautifully divine about the tower moment. Some of you, it's multiple. Like I did get an aerial vision of like multiple buildings going down, multiple tower moments. But can you see the silver lining, Pisces? Are you connected enough to the divine? Do you ask the divine why? And do you allow the divine to show you what is meant to be on this plot of land once this building is gone? because I did see the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles builds brick by brick. So it looks like the King of Pentacles is tearing down something. For a lot of you, it could be your company shutting down. You've worked at this company. Some of you were close to retiring, so this is a very, very fucked up situation for you. Not realizing you are going to get a lump sum of cash. And we talk about cash and how you have money that the divine has kind of blocked off for different periods of your life. And a lot of you are given that chunk when you are let go or have to be let go due to this company shutting down. Look at that money. Do not look at this building. It's like a car crash. Do not stare. Keep going. Rubbernecking. I'm not going to get started. I can't stand that shit. I can't stand that shit. Do not rubberneck this. Okay? Some of you really need to be cognizant, because some of you, this tower is being built, not tore down. Some of you have been given a lump sum of money or will be given an increase or a lump sum of money in some form or fashion. It could just be an increase in salary that's so significant that it does actually change your quality of life, like you could live differently. But the divine is asking you, there is a need to be very careful about increases of money and large sums of money. It's almost like the energy of, I don't know, for me, when I used to be on like bi-weekly payments or whatever the case is, paychecks or whatever, I'd be broke after week 1. But by mid-week 2, I would have a list of all these things I had to get when I was paid. And then I'd get paid, and only half of the things I would remember on the list. The other half I would not remember until, of course, you know, I was broke again and cognizant of everything I didn't have money for. There is a need to remember the other half of the list so that when you get paid, certain things get handled, because some of you might reach a point where you realize that you're trying to build something and don't have the finances for it. But you did have the finances for it is the point. Okay? How you spend and allocate your finances is very important at this time, especially, and you'd think, well, if I'm broke, especially, obviously, well, that goes without saying. I'm talking to the people who are getting increases. A lot of money, they're changing, they're going into a more financially abundant phase of their life. Be careful that you do not learn very hard lessons about finances, which will take away from what you're able to build with that cash. Because it wasn't just for status. It wasn't just to perpetuate an image of people who make money or do what you do or have a certain level of success like you. So now you need to use that money to kind of portray that image. So you buy the right car, you buy the right clothes, you move in the right area. Meanwhile, you were comfortable where you were, how you were living with the clothes you had. And that money could have really created a vision that you had. Like that other half of the list, it was a vision, but you didn't think about it when the cash came in. You guys need to remember what it was that you said to yourself. If I came into money, this is what I would get. Or if I came into an increase, this is what I would do and set up for myself. You guys need to write that down and remember, because the cash is coming and some of you are not going to do those things. And then a couple days before payday, you're broke again. And you're going to remember those things and say, fuck. It's an unnecessary lesson with regards to abundance if you've already learned it already. Okay, it's unnecessary to have to learn this again. It's temptation energy. It's no different than sex and being tempted to have sex. Okay, it's the same, tempted to spend money. You know, it's like, it's temptation that gets you to forget what that abundance was for. So you went to God and you said, I need money. I need abundance. I want to do A, B, C, and D. And then Pops, Ma, Creator, Prime Source says, yeah, man, here you go. That's correct. We talked about that before you reincarnated here. Here's that money to do said thing. And you get paid and you completely forget what it was that you told God you needed that money for. Now you squandered the money away. And then what? You're going to go back to the divine and ask for that manifestation again and wonder why the manifestation isn't coming in. Well, it's because the money that the divine gave to you to build this manifestation, you didn't use for it. Therefore, that means you didn't really believe in this manifestation. You manipulated yourself in some way to believe you needed money to do something that you weren't really ready and willing to do. So that is a lot of information for the overall energy. First card out, 8 of Cups. Second card out, 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. Some of you don't realize that this Tower moment is a blessing in disguise. Maybe somebody kicking you out, maybe somebody firing you, maybe you deciding to resign or leave somewhere, right? With the idea that it was going to be worse, you were going to struggle, you were going to suffer, because that's always how it's been for you, only for the divine to pave the way and say that was the best thing to happen. Because for a lot of you, you were around people or in certain situations that if you got the abundance that the divine always had in store for you, you would have let the codependent people around you use you and take it. You would have spent all the money on all the triggered temptations that you have around you. Okay, there was a need for this to happen so that you could come out of a pattern, a toxic pattern. It's a poverty conscious pattern. It was a pattern that was going to leave you broke forever. It was an environment that was going to leave you broke forever and drained forever. Okay? For a very small group of you, the person that you were financially codependent on is letting you know that they cannot no longer support you for whatever the reason is. Because I got a whole slew of reasons, different dynamic of relationships, business. That's a blessing in disguise. Because a lot of you will end up starting your own business because of this. A lot of you will end up working for institutions that you only dreamed of. It's almost like this divine intervention comes in, you feel devastated about it, you go and apply online, and there is perfect availability for your role, paying more in a company that really truly is a reflection of the work-life balance, quality of life that you want for yourself. But if this didn't happen, the timing of the availability of that role, that all of that would have been off. So this is what I tell you guys about that temperance energy. There's so much happening behind the scenes to make our wildest dreams, to keep us afloat behind the scenes in the 5D. There's a lot going on. All right. And there was a lot going on before this happened. So this was almost like, okay, is everything in place? The divine's like, okay, we've got this over here. We've got this open availability over here. We've got all of this. Boom. Domino effect. Snap, push that one domino, and now it's going to affect everything. But we already know that the divine doesn't create these tower moments for anything other than our best interest. Okay? The tower, I don't care how bad it makes you feel, it's not devil energy. Devil energy will get you to not see the silver lining and the greater purpose as to why the divine did this. The devil will try to tell you the divine hates you. When really the divine is trying to get you, is loving you in all the ways you don't love yourself, which is why the divine tore this down. We are way more codependent over the divine, over God, our ancestors, than we would like to narcissistically admit to. And there go the church bells. Yeah, 12 o'clock. All right. 2 of Swords. Some of you are afraid of leaving a relationship because of the financial ties, but it looks like both of you are broke. So I don't understand. Again, it's that poverty consciousness, right? You thinking that you'll be worse off without this person. Meanwhile, the divine is looking at both of you like you're both broke and not unlocking new abundance inside of yourself and not encouraging each other to unlock and more abundance and build more shit. That's why I told you, your soul tribe, your true counterparts, your true divine partners, your true friends, they help build you. You feel good, you get knowledge, you feel inspired, right? I'll always be broke if I'm with you. Oh, no, I'll always have nothing if I'm with you. That's what I heard. I'll always have nothing if I'm with you. And it's the person who's essentially walking away. The Magician, yeah, walking away to manifest something that's essentially more fulfilling, abundant. It looks like for some of my Pisces, the dormant part of yourself that wasn't manifesting anything greater than maybe what this person was presenting to you or telling you was for you guys, or how you were maybe raised, or just how you lived your life. It's like, sorry guys, in the middle of the spread is the Nine of Pentacles. Sorry if I seem a little bit distracted. I am here. So many thoughts. I got a big ass forehead for a reason. There's lots of brains up in my head. That's why I got a big ass head. All right. Nine of Pentacles in the beginning of your spread. Yeah, I told you. Some of you think that you are better off with what you have with this person out of fear of having less, but the divine's trying to show you can't get any less, than you're already out in the cold. See, the thing with out in the cold is people always think alone. You can be out in the cold with somebody. I see a lot of people go out in the cold because they love somebody, only for that person who brought them out in the cold with them to abandon them in said cold. The divine's always trying to show you with the Nine of Pentacles that you are abundant, you are capable, and that you need to love yourself enough to move. So move on this earthly plane like you know that. Like you are very aware of your capabilities and how they can bring you abundance. How many times you've gotten yourself out of this cold on your own. Don't let somebody manipulate you into thinking you need them when you've been surviving independently this whole time. A lot of you have survived a lot of things. A lot of you have overcome odds. Okay? In already. But you're at a stage in your life where you're not remembering. Like I said, for some of you, you sacrificed going into the cold with somebody, took a risk, and then paid the consequences with that person. Maybe they gambled something, money, home, something. It's that like ride or die, but it's like ride or die isn't supposed to be like assuming that you're gonna die. Most of the time when you're riding and dying, you're riding. You're not dying. For a lot of you, it's like you're out there. Like there is no riding. You know, you might be living in the car, right? Anyways, long and short here, my beautiful Pisces, a lot of you need to see yourself as the independent and abundant, capable. Because that completely changes the paradigm. It changes your reality. And then when you do look at yourself this way, you might realize that this poverty conscious was actually more of a projection onto you, was actually maybe more of a comfort zone. Being codependent with people. I don't know. But anyways, let's keep going. It's already 23 minutes in. I'm just going to lay all the rest of the cards out because I want to get into the oracles. Five of Cups. Some of you are going to regret not doing this sooner. Some of you are going to regret not doing this, Eight of Cups, sooner, because some of you do have to rebuild your finances. Some of you gambled. Some of you might call it an investment, but you gambled. Meaning there was evidence that it was a poor investment to begin with, and you put your money, time, efforts into it anyway. So some of you are rebuilding, but that rebuild going from the 5 to the 9 is going to be quick. Why? Because all the capabilities that laid in this 5 of Pentacles, this surviving in these elements, was off your back anyway. A lot of you needed to pull back your own material resources in order to make manifestations happen. Some of you guys don't realize how much you weren't able to build. Like you were going to the divine asking for more, and the divine's like, I already gave it to you. You're spending it wrong. You're utilizing your abundance that I've bestowed upon you incorrectly. That's why this isn't coming in. This is why this isn't manifesting. Then you've got the Queen of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Then you've got the 10 of Swords. And then you have the 4 of Wands. Yeah. Some of you bet on somebody financially because you love them. And part of you knew that it wasn't the greatest idea, but your love for them made you invest in their dream. So they were manifesting. They were the magician. They were manipulating you to believe in their dream. Okay, I want to do this. This could have been your husband, wife. This could have been your brother, sister. This could have been family asking you to invest in a business, only for you to realize that this business will never gain success, will always struggle, and that maybe all the work that you did to run a family business, you're now going to apply for your own business and manifest your own, right? So this is what I'm saying. It was like you guys are walking away from actively investing in a dream that wasn't yours. And what I'm getting is that this person also knows that there is, so for some of you, there's somebody manipulating you to give them money to manifest something, build something, do something. They know they're squandering the money on some other shit. So you keep asking them, where is this? What happened to this? Is this coming through? And it's not. And the reason why, okay, is because they didn't actually spend your investment on what it was, this manifestation. They're squandering it. They actually regret squandering it. For some of you, they know that they misused resources you gave, loaned, invested, something like this. They misused. So now they're sitting in regret going, how the fuck do I tell Pisces that this manifestation isn't really coming through? This isn't really happening because I spent the cash on something else. Someone is feeling ashamed, embarrassed, maybe even afraid of how, Scorpio, you might react when you find out that they lied. Because I'm assuming you're going to feel very hurt. It's not even about the money for Pisces, sorry. For Pisces, it's not even about, and this might happen in Scorpio season if it hasn't already. For a lot of you, this isn't about the money. It's about the betrayal, the lie. Some of you come to an end of, because some of you, the way you love people is financially supporting them or investing them. It's realizing that you need to pull your cup of love back from some people, come out of the negative cycle of needing to invest in people in order for them to feel like you're down for them, like you have purpose in their life kind of energy. A lot of Pisces are coming to the end. So what I see here is some of my Pisces are going to be a bit upset about having to start over. I'm telling you, it's a blessing in disguise for those Pisces who are tearing down something, starting over, needing to start over, dreading the idea of starting over as this is crumbling down before your eyes. Do not rubberneck. Move on. Understand, be present, understand what's happening, and act. Do not stand there. There will be a brick that slaps you in your face if you stand there like an idiot. Straight up. Okay. All right. Let's go into clarification though. I'm going to pull romance real quick because this was very career, money. It does apply to relationships because it looks like for some of you, you've got your resources tethered in with some people or somebody. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual expectations. Yeah, this is for some of you where this is a partner, okay, who's betrayed you, misused resources. For some of you, this is a recurring pattern, right? You invest in them, their grand ideas, their grand plans, only for them to fall through. It's almost like other people are more down for this person's ideas and pitches than they are. It looks like, Pisces, that you need to stop investing in somebody who has no follow through. Some of you are moving away from somebody who cannot back up what it is they say to you. They cannot back up their efforts with regards to their plans, their manifestations. It's almost like this person lacks the spirituality to actually listen to the downloads that show them how to get their manifestation. because they keep manifesting money, they keep misusing it, not realizing that there is something that the money is supposed to be for that will bring longer term success and sustenance. Yeah, some of you need to keep an open mind about what is to occur, like what the divine, the silver lining is, what the divine is going to get you to build on this plot of land when this building's gone. Underneath that is the 6 of Cups, and then you have the Queen of Swords. So we've got 2 queens here, whether male or female. We've got air and we've got water. So Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So those could be 2 different people, or those could be you. It's almost like emotionally you've had enough. It's almost like this Queen of Swords came out because she's the one that has to deal with the betrayal, meaning she's the one who has to drop her sword of truth, okay, and cut this shit out. Not just drop her sword of truth and communicate it. It's that sort of truth also hacks away a new path that doesn't look anything like this. A new path, a new foundation, cutting your losses, moving on, and starting new. And then once you take that leap and do that, there is going to be a huge sense of excitement. Why? Because it dawned on you that this was for a reason. Now that all the bombs are got off, now all the dust is settled, now all the screams are gone, you can hear the divine telling you, go build. The money's there. It's really here. The money's here. Go build. And now you have a greater understanding of why certain events took place. You're going to reflect and say that was the divine, when maybe before you thought it was the devil. Okay? And for those of you that are in this right now, trust and believe the devil will make you think the divine hates you for putting you through this. Because a lot of you know that the divine did this, but you don't understand why. And then the adversary comes in and says, well, because the divine hates you and is really against you. And then the adversary uses things like temptation to take you off course because it feels better. Let the divine show you why the divine is doing this, because it's going to feel a lot better than any fucking temptation that the devil brings to you. Right? A lot of you are going to be investing in your own. Some of you realize, some of you, it really dawns on you about this whole manifestation thing with regards to, like, some of you realize you're the manifester. Some of you have been looking at a masculine or somebody in your life as the magician, meaning I'm going to support this person because they're the one that manifests abundance, or they're the one that manifests opportunity for us, me, whatever. Only for you to realize that this magician actually isn't manifesting to the best of their abilities. Why? I'm assuming because they're misusing resources, pentacles, time, or money. Only for Pisces to then realize, wait a minute, I can do the same thing. I am a magician, and actually I realize that the reason the person you were looking to wasn't manifesting is because they didn't have a proper understanding about material abundance and appreciate time. But Pisces, it looks like you do. So now you assume the magician position and start to make things happen. Pisces, all I can say about this is if you experience, especially if it's a shock, meaning the increase, the amount, it's shocking. You need to remember what this manifestation is, or you will end up spending that money on bullshit and have nothing to show for it. A lot of you are manifesting money for 2020 and everything you're going to build. For all my fellow light workers and angel gang that has been going through the ascension process and has been divinely connected to God, manifesting and has a vision, don't fumble when the divine comes and gives you the money to build that, or else come end 2020, this manifestation will not be here. You will be tearing down instead of building up and looking at what it is that you've developed, which is going to be the potential of this brand new foundation. All right. All right, so I want to go into the oracle spreads. Keep an open mind, and then at the bottom of the romance is calling in your soulmate in separation. Pay attention to the red flags. Let go of control issues. Yeah, it's funny how avoiding red flags is a great way of gaining control. It's avoidance, it's denial. To me, that is a control tactic. Let me just deny this and control what I am going to acknowledge. Well, there's that whole thing. Well, I can't control it, so I'm not going to acknowledge it. No. That's controlling behavior to me. But anyways, this separation worth waiting for. It's the silver lining that was worth waiting for. The divine heard every prayer. The divine knows exactly what you want, but not only that, what you've been tempering yourself to get. The divine's pleased if this tower comes in, but the divine knows your limitations, knows what you will not tear down because you're so programmed or whatever the case is. So it will happen. It'll be jarring, but you'll look back in a year or two and go, oh my God, I would have never been here if this didn't happen. Please thank the divine at that time, because you really did almost blame this whole thing on the devil. All the work the angels did to do what you couldn't do for your own ascension, and you chalk it up to the devil. He laughs at that shit. He laughs because he's in the 5D and sees how many angels were running around scrambling, trying to make this happen for you, so that at the other side of this, you were free, you were unburdened, you were clear, better positioned. All right. I'm going to pull from the Eliqui, and then we'll read from there. I think it's she who, or I don't know. Anyways, thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, and guardian angels. Can we please clarify this spread for my beautiful Pisces? Here we go. Perpetua. She who aches. Sadness, solitude, silent withdrawal. Yeah, some of you are aching. Some of you are in the midst of this tower and you feel very alone, because I personally believe there's a group of you that you went out in the cold for love. You met someone where they were at, and where they were at was in the cold. Maybe you brought this person out of the cold and invested in them, supported them somehow, and then they left you. They took whatever investment you made in them and they moved on somewhere else. That was a blessing. The divine wants to also you to realize why you were doing that. Like, you really need to look at the work that you've done to build yourself and really manifest somebody who matches that. It was almost like you did all of that to bring love close to you, but it was like, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, because with the Six of Cups, that soulmate energy, that can be karmic to me. It's like that person you've been dating on and off that you can't let go, right? Everybody has that one first lover. That's that main karmic soulmate, whatever the fuck you want to call it. To me, it's regardless of the title, karmic, soulmate, twin flame. If it's a karmic experience, it's all karmic, man. All right, I'm going to read this. There it is. Perpetua, she who aches, epitomizes the silent despair sometimes felt when you are separated from something or someone you love. In her heartache, Perpetua has chosen to withdraw into her garden hushed with snow, in her hands, in her journal, where she pours out her pain. Her faithful magpie bears a gift, but she doesn't see it. The gold brings in her beak. The gold ring in his beak goes unnoticed, as do the sheets of paper she has cast aside. If only she would see the beauty around her, in the quiet trees, in the darkness of a friend, in her ability to create, then Perpetua might break through her own sorrow. She tries to cover her pain in layers of gorgeous fabric, but when she keeps herself from others, she remains in this solitude and sadness. The message of this card is that you may be needlessly mired in your own grief. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Make sure you are doing the work that must be done so you can escape the wintry garden of frozen tears. While it can be hard, you can rise from the place of detachment. Writing is a good thing, even if it's a letter you write but never send. Consider starting a journal if you haven't already. Free yourself by releasing the words racing through your mind, and do not ignore offers of help and assistance. They may come from unexpected allies, faraway places, or even a close neighbor who's chatty as a magpie. Your sadness will be alleviated and you will begin to move forward if you share parts of yourself again. Soon you'll be able to look back at your footsteps in the snow and see how far you've come. Questions to ask yourself: what is the root of this unhappiness? What have I done to begin to dispel my despair? What is one more thing I can do to feel better? All right, so this is that interim of this tower moment, right? Okay, look for the silver lining, because the devil is trying to keep you in the grief and telling you that this happened to you and not for you. Right? Letting yourself be available to like-minded people who can then ensure you of the silver lining through their own experiences from an outside perspective, or at least just help you come out of the grief, which allows you to be open to their love and affections, even just from a friendship perspective, right? And needing to be open, because some of you are feeling still left out in the cold and questioning whether or not you want to come out yet. So still licking your wounds type energy, all right? And then the Razuli Sufi Wisdom Oracle. I love this deck so much. We'll read this out of the book too, okay? And then we'll wrap. Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, and guardian angels. Slow down to relax. Break to enjoy the beauty around you. I think it's to appreciate that some of the tower moments around you are happening for you, and that this is actually really beautiful if you can see the vision of what's going to be there once this building, this old rotten building, gets demolished. Because it's almost like you didn't even have to demolish it. Some of you did, some of you didn't. But it's like now it's time to clear the area and rebuild a better infrastructure, one that will stand the tests of time. That's just as divinely guided as the tearing down of this. Right. Slow down to relax. Right. Cool it down, you gotta slow it down. Ooh, I love that song. Okay. All right. Slow down and relax. Break to enjoy the beauty around you. Patience is not just sitting and waiting. It is visioning. It is looking at the horn and seeing the rose, the thorn and seeing the rose, looking at the night and seeing the day. Lovers are patient and know that even the moon needs time to be full, to become full. Rumi. There are times when we feel weary, drained, and fatigued. Everything seems to be moving at its normal pace, yet our usual energy, drive, and motivation take a bit of a dive. This is when our body and soul are telling us to slow down, take care, and not burn ourselves out. The time has arrived to sit back, relax, and focus on foreseeing the future. Rumi carries a powerful message. Turn your focus inward and allow your spiritual development. Turn your focus inward and towards your spiritual development. You are being called to slow down, to see more of the beauty around you. Rumi wants you to realize, if you haven't already, that the power is within you and that you can create anything you wish. Once this is gone, you can create anything there you wish. All of the answers you have been looking for are revealing themselves to you now. But first, you must take the time to connect with the inner source of your divine power. By quieting your mind, not only will you be able to see things more clearly and less reactively, but the space in your mind may bring forth some amazing insights. Whether it is from a past life pattern or something you have learned, it is time to set yourself free so you may live more creatively and step into your true power. The mantra is, I am determined to fill more of my time with peace and to relax for as long as I need to renew. Yeah, it's being kind to yourself after some of you have been drained and sucked dry. Time to reclaim your power and kind of nurture yourself in all the ways that you're so willing to nurture other people, so that you can redirect your focus on your manifestations, because it looks like you're going to come into opportunity that is going to increase your finances so that you can create those manifestations. So please do not, squander your money. When you come into lump sums of money like that, pray on it, meditate on it, get the divine to remind you of the second half of the list, that we usually forget when we get paid. And make those the first things on the list, because I'm excited to see what Pisces builds, because essentially it's a brand new foundation. It gets cleared and you get to building. And it looks like you're doing it with somebody. Fantastic. Okay. Anyways, guys, that is your reading for October. Again, thank you for your patience. I'll probably do Pisces first anyways for November. But please like, share, subscribe. And until the next time I see you, please continue to let your inner angels live. Ciao.